Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Thinking Out Loud. Um, Today, what's on my mind is the topic of time, um, and why time is extremely important, and why, at the same time, um, that makes how you spend it extremely important. I think I might cover the aspects of, or like the conversation of time and money, how they compare, how society compares them, and and yeah, my thoughts on it, because it's something that really blows my mind. Let's try to understand time to begin with. Time is I'm gonna. Last episode had really bad audio, in my opinion, because of the aircon. I was blowing the aircon, and really fucked up the audio quality. For example, I was using my headphone, which I used for the first episode. I used the audio on my headphone, because the GoPro is like more surrounding, so to speak. It doesn't filter um, based on proximity, which this does apparently. And yeah, because of the aircon, there was like this humming, like noise, and yeah, I couldn't use that audio, so I just turned off the aircon. But yeah, basically time. We know that time is limited. We know we cannot make any more time. Um, we have a limited set of time because we are human beings, and as far as we know, almost all living things are expirable. Um, and so we know that our time is limited. So we begin with that. Then we know that not only is it limited, but we don't know how limited it is. As far as we know, it's like really limited. I mean, I have no idea of how long I'm going to be here for. And on top of that, um, I know everything can vanish at any time. And so it's extremely limited, extremely valuable. And we are under oh my God, man. That guy was running like, he's got the whole bike lane, and he's running like right next to the road, which is a bit risky. But yeah, time and how we spend it. The thing is, we live in a society um, that allows us to grow under the assumption that all that matters is producing and making money, and that's all that life's about. Well, not really. It's just that you have to pay. We have a system that forces you to pay in order to survive. In order to be alive, you need to pay. If you want to be alive, if you want to live with dignity, you have to pay even more, because now you need a decent house, a decent car. I'm not talking about luxury. I'm talking about like decent. I mean, a house that you enjoy being at, a car that you enjoy riding, because it's not like going to break up every fucking minute, stuff like that. Just to live with dignity, you need a lot more money than to simply live. And so, what do smart people do in an environment like this? Well, you're telling them that they're probably going to be alive for 80 years, and they're going to have to pay to live. And so, anyone who's a bit smart, they come to the conclusion that, okay, then the more money I make, the safer I am, the more freedom I can purchase. And what do you end up with? Well, you end up with lots and lots of very talented people, in my opinion, pursuing the wrong dreams. Why? Because there's no sky to that. It's like, I need to make as much money as possible, not because I'm an asshole, but simply because I'm smart. I don't want to be the fucking loser that is having a bad time simply because he doesn't have money. I mean, no, I need to be able to afford my liberty in order to be able to, I don't know, find myself, find my path, enjoy life, do this, do that. Um, the least I need is to be able to purchase my freedom. And so you you end up having lots of people pursuing that. And I think that forces us to forget that we're also here to enjoy the time we got. I think it's really important. Your time is so limited that you might as well um, just enjoy it. You know, if you can find ways in which you can enjoy your time yet also be productive, that's fantastic. That really is fantastic. But so many of us live under the assumption that it's all about productivity. Like, for example, something that I found really, really interesting and arguably very, very important in life is philosophy. And the thing is, I live in a system that is offers free education. You know, I grew up in a private school, but I could always go to the public school, and I went for a year, and that year I received education in philosophy. However, when you're young, you think you're smarter than anyone else. When you're not, you're quite ignorant, but you think you're very smart, and you think you know everything. And I decided, like, oh, philosophy can suck my dick because sorry for that expression, but it's literally a very accurate description of how I felt, because it doesn't help you produce. This doesn't make me richer. This doesn't make me more productive. This doesn't do shit for me. If anything, it's gonna pull me away from being productive, because if you stop and think about things, man, many things aren't worth it. You know, many things are like, why the fuck would I get to do this if everything I'm getting in return is money? All I'm getting is money, nothing else. Nothing else. Not even like um, fulfillment or um, improvement over a certain field, whatever, like growth. No, I'm only getting money. Like, that's fucking crazy. If you use philosophy, you'd think like, okay, I'm not going to do this. Makes no sense. Or many other things, you would like reason them and think thoroughly about them, and you would come to the conclusion that, well, you know, it doesn't really matter that much. And I wasn't wrong, but like, how fucked up is that? That while I was young, I was offered free access to education in philosophy, amongst other things, but in philosophy in this case. Let's focus on that. And I couldn't take advantage of it. I hated it. I was like, who the fuck do they think they are imposing this subject which is stupid? That's how I felt about it. It's like, no, I don't need this. All I need to do is be productive and make money. And funny enough, many of us grow up to be adults that think that that's the ultimate goal in life, to make money so you can purchase more freedom, because they're smart enough to figure out that that's a great way of doing things, you know? Because then you get people that are like, okay, this system is fucked up, which it is. I think it is. That you get people that think, okay, this system is fucked up. Oh my God, it's crazy. I'm just gonna sit down and complain. Well, I think it's disgusting how things work. I don't really like the society I've inherited. But I think it's the best version of it that we've had ever. I wouldn't change being alive in this time for being alive in any other time. That's where I work my ass. That's why I try to um, grow and pursue my limits, because I think that it's a time where I can actually do it, you know, in my terms, and that's fantastic. But still, I don't really like what I see. I don't really like how things work. And so time is fascinating. The fact that we all are able to understand what I just said, and despite that, we don't really act upon that thought. We act as if time was unlimited, and What good is that? What good is it to act as if time was unlimited? I don't know, but like, it's so risky if you suddenly decide to chase a goal uh, based only on money, which sadly many talented people, incredibly smart people do. Um, it's a very expensive trade. I mean, you're swapping your time just for money, and the thing is, that's by itself, that's fantastic because you can buy a lot of freedom, and freedom is incredibly valuable. And luckily, you can buy it quite simply for having money. You can like buy freedom. That's great. But then, if you get not only um, a tool by which you can purchase liberty, but also yeah, growth, improvement, sense. Like things make sense to you. Like, oh, I have a reason to exist because this is great. Mondays could be great. Mondays is when like life starts again. Like during the weekend, everyone's doing their shit, but like the world is connected again on Monday, and people work together to do shit, and that can be fantastic. That can be great, and we focus on just doing our shit and then going back home. And okay, I'm very aware that it's not fair to say this because many people um, aren't lucky enough to even think. Thinking out loud is a privilege. Look at me. Yes, I'm going to work, but I have time in the car to just think. Many people don't even have the time to think, but I'm not even going to get into that. Like those people, I can't really understand. But many people that are in my situation, where you were born in a developed country, I was very lucky that I didn't have to help financially in my house. I didn't have to help my parents with money and all that. I was born rich just because of that. Like, doesn't matter how much money you have, if you don't have to work in other things that aren't your goals, you are fucking rich, man. And how many people around me and that I don't know, but like have the same situation as me, are objectively wasting their shot. Because if you're doing what you love, that's fantastic. Despite it being, I don't know, like working 12 hours a day in like something that is, I don't know, just to make money. Like if you enjoy that, that's fantastic. I'm not disrespecting any way of doing things. But like, if you have the chance to chase anything, I think you shouldn't not chase it just because it's scary, because it's such a shame, or just because um it's not what your family wants, it's not what your society wants. Life's gonna be tough anyway. Why make it tough and miserable? Really, like we don't think about it this deeply enough, perhaps. Um, life's gonna suck. Like life's really hard. And it's gonna suck no matter what. No matter how good you are, no matter how well you do things, life can suck big time. But that's a reality. Why make it miserable on design? Like why design it in a way that makes it miserable? I think it's not worth it. And I try my best to act upon this. And it's really hard. I mean, trust me, doing something um, that people don't understand, especially when they're close to you, doing something that other people don't value. It's hard, but so what? It's so worth it. I mean, yeah, you have a hard time the first few days because you're like taking into account other people's opinion, but like when you realize that um, they're like you, and same way you have opinions about others, being well aware that your opinion doesn't do shit for them. Like I can have an opinion about someone, may it be good or bad. It doesn't make a difference. It's not gonna affect the other person's life. And yet we have it. because we know that, I mean, it's my opinion, like this guy shouldn't care about it. However, when it's the other way around, we do take into account other people's opinions, and it's not great. It's not very smart because we know that people don't take into account ours, and that's fine. It's like, oh shit, that guy can live his life how he wants because even though I'm having an opinion about him, he knows that it's not such a big deal, you know. And so yeah, in the beginning is like you do take into account that, but then you start harvesting your efforts, and man, you enjoy it so much. I mean, waking up on a Monday knowing that yes, like the day could suck very much, but you're gonna do something you enjoy, and no one can take that from you. Dude, that's magical. And yeah, it's obviously scary to like be left out because of what you do or what you enjoy doing. But you know, like how many things in life are tough? I mean, going back to what I was saying before, I was born um, with the freedom to use my time as I pleased. Um, Man, I can't really complain about much else. I was given the jackpot, me and many other people. And so why complain about those things? You know, I've lived many years, um, taking into account, um, the well-being of others, their improvement over my ideas, thoughts, whatever, actions. And it's not worth it because mainly because they don't need it. You know, these people, they don't need you to act that way. Same way you don't need others to act that way towards you. You don't need others to act in a way that is better for you. No, you need them to act freely, I think. You need them to act however they feel their lives, their life or their journey, their experience here is going to be better because that's what I need. I'm not going to take care of them. I'm not their mom and dad. I'm not going to be dealing with your shit. Same way no one's going to be dealing with my shit. That's why I need everyone to be very conscious about the time that we have at hand, how limited it is, how incredibly precious it is, and why it's not it's not crazy to make decisions based on that. Like, oh shit, it's very limited, it's very valuable. I have to make the best use of it because I need people to be happy. I need people to focus on whatever they enjoy. I need people to be talented and be allowed to grow. Because even if I'm an asshole and I don't give a shit about anyone, my life's going to be better. Society is going to be better. And man, that's a beautiful thought in my mind. Like, that's something I really enjoy thinking about. Like, wow, man, imagine a life where like everyone is extraordinary, not in the eyes of others, but in their own eyes. You know, it sucks that people have to feel miserable solely for the fact that society is built the way it is. It really sucks. And then, you know, you have conversations with people, and this is really frustrating. I need to work on this, but it's really, really frustrating when um, you talk to people and no shit, they act upon whatever they've grown to believe, you know? But they defend the idea of money so much, of like reality, like, man, no, reality is that, yeah, it's stuff, but you have to make money and that's very important and you have to chase making a lot of money. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The thing is, life is fucking scary if you don't have money. Dude, I find it so fucking scary to not have freedom, which, in my society, that's having money. It's so scary. Man, that sucks. I don't want to live a minute without being a decision of what I do or what I can do. But still, why would I, even if it's scary, why would I be like, no, money is way more important? Well, probably because things are really, really tough and our upbringing is really fucked up. Because think about this. people that have the same freedom as I do, the same possibilities, the same access to the internet, to information, to meeting other people, to talking about stuff, learning, asking questions. Many of them feel like, yeah, there's that, but it's really something very like, it's a weak thought because it's not very like tangible. However, my perception of the future and how to get to my goals through the conventional routes, that is extremely tangible. That is like a really exact science. It's sad. It's sad that we are extremely conditioned, in my opinion, to think like that. I'm not talking so much about others, but about myself. Um, I think it's sad that for many years I was really scared. I didn't want to fuck up. That's another topic for another day, but I didn't want to fuck up because fucking up is very negative in today's society. We're taught to not fuck up, to to get straight A's if we can. The value is in getting straight A's, no, not like improving whatever the fuck your starting point was. No, it's about generalizing and like as if we were all the same and like we're not. That's not even bad. I think that's okay. Um, but yeah, it's so negative to fail, and at the same time we're aware that time is limited. So I guess that what we do, um, if you're smart enough, you think like, okay, then I need to make as much money as possible to live comfortably and to be safe, or at least have a perception that I'm safe, even though health doesn't give a shit about money. You may be the richest man in the world or woman, and health doesn't give a fuck. You can get a cancer, like have whatever issue. Your child can be born with problems, health problems, I mean. And doesn't matter how much money you have. So like that's scary by itself. It's like, okay, no matter what I do, um, yeah, there's a big chance that I can better help myself or my loved ones in that aspect. But there's a certain limit to that. Um, Steve Jobs died, man. No one can escape that, no matter how much money you have. And that's not a problem. I think that's definitely not a problem. I mean, yeah, why would it be a problem? I mean, I wouldn't do half the shit I do if I wasn't gonna die. If I had all the time in the world, I wouldn't get off my ass any morning. Like I would just be chilling and like being comfortable and like I'd be an hedonist, like pure, yeah, pure follower of hedonism. Like I wouldn't be making one single effort. That wouldn't make sense because my time is unlimited. But since I'm gonna die, and I'm certain that I'm gonna die, man, it makes everything beautiful. All of this shit is beautiful thanks to that. As fucked up as it may be, it makes life beautiful. The exploration of it, the fact that everything is so delicate. Um, we seem to have an understanding of, or at least a perception of beauty. We find things beautiful, and life is something we find beautiful. Why is it so hard to take a life? Why does it fuck you up? Because it's beautiful. You're taking something that is just so fucking great, so brilliant, that it's so hard for people to get past that thought, you know? Usually you have to make them think in unnatural ways. You either have to use religion or hate or yeah, a lot of sadness to make people act in illogical ways. Um, but yeah, life is exparable, and that is quite beautiful indeed. I've said the same thing like 7 times, but life is is great. I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be trying out stuff every day. I know I'm far from perfect. I'm far from great, or at least where I want to be. Um, and that doesn't make things any worse. It's like, man, just being able to get up in a Monday and like go to work. For me, that's great by itself. Like I'm doing stuff. Same way as get up in a Monday and like do whatever you've chosen to do. Like the fact that you're doing it is great. And maybe I don't have time in this search, but I do want to talk about bad things and when bad shit happens to you. We seem to have a um, very clear perception of bad things. When bad things happen, it means the world to us, to the point that since each of us has its own story, its own upbringing, we live our own shit. Whatever the fuck we live that is negative or unpleasant or whatever, it leaves a mark on us. Because we grow up thinking that we can make the choice between good and bad, that whenever bad things happen, it's like such a big deal. It's like, oh my God, that's so bad. So bad to the point that I'm going to let that scar me and I'm going to live being a slave of those scars. And we can't really know what's good, what's bad, what can be good, what can be bad. We may know what's pleasant and what's unpleasant, but why use that as something relevant? Man, how many unpleasant shit do you come across in your life that isn't necessarily bad? I mean, going to the gym isn't pleasant. Working your ass lifting weights, that's not pleasant. And yet it's good. It's positive. You get results from that. And, yeah, why should things be pleasant? Um, I think I could say perhaps that chasing pleasant things, chasing whatever made me feel comfortable, um, it almost killed me. Like it almost forced me into a way of life where I only chased money and convenience and being comfortable. Like if I avoided unpleasant things in my life, I would be chasing a paycheck that can pay for stuff that not only I like, but my friends and people around me like luxury stuff, like a good car, a good house, um, being well dressed. And that would have been enough because asking for more than that would make me uncomfortable. And I'm not going to be the guy that lives uncomfortably. Fuck that. That's how we feel. It's like, no, I'm not going to be that guy. I'm just going to be comfortable. And bear in mind, I'm not talking about everyone. I'm talking about everyone that is privileged enough to be born in in a household that um, has plenty of money to buy food. You have a roof. You have access to the internet, and even on top of that, your parents are grown ups. You know, your parents deal with their shit. They get their shit together, and they allow you to grow up in a good environment. Then, man, get control of your life. I mean, because it's gonna slip away from your fingers eventually. There's nothing you can do about that. And that's fucking scary. I mean, to me, that's fucking scary. But yeah, guys, didn't want to sound so negative on a Monday morning. Actually, even though I touched upon topics that were like harsh, perhaps, or I exposed them in a harsh way, bear in mind, I'm just thinking out loud. I don't care like if people like or dislike my opinions. They're just thoughts, and they change over time. Like I could very well have a different opinion about time and life in a few years. Maybe I have kids. Then my situation is very different. Then I'm forced to chase money, not for me, but for them. So, so yeah, who knows? Things can change, opinions can change. I'm just exploring my ideas. I think they might be interesting enough, those ideas, for people to care about them or find value in them. Maybe my ideas awake thoughts in you. Maybe you don't agree, and because of that, you start thinking about how you don't agree, why you don't agree. And if you go ahead and talk about that stuff with other people, that's fucking great. I mean, the value you're giving to others is huge. You're giving them ideas. And money you can spend once. Ideas you can keep spending forever. You can keep using ideas forever. And that's fantastic. I think that's beautiful, really. But yeah, guys, as always, if you've enjoyed this video, if you enjoyed these podcasts, in case you're listening to this, by all means, share it with anyone that you think may find value in this. That helps a lot, because it will at some point make all of this sustainable. And so, yeah, you might make someone's day better, so yeah, feel free to share it. Also, I'm very important. I know this is asking a lot from you guys, but if you have any opinion about what I'm saying, how I'm doing it, what are your thoughts on it? By all means, send me a DM on Instagram, write me an email, reply to me on on the comment section, do whatever, but like, do get in touch and do share your opinions. Even if you think that your opinions are gonna make me feel bad, maybe your opinion is like, man, this is shit, look at you, you're just like talking bullshit, you have no idea. Even that's helpful. But do explain yourself. Like, do tell me why you think things, why you've reasoned those things. Because that's gonna help me a lot. A lot. But yeah, guys, I'm gonna go to the office. I need to start working. Hope you guys have a great day, no matter when you're listening to this. And yeah, catch you up in another episode. Goodbye.